Doesn't always unfold this way. And so for me, the most important thing is remembering not to make it mean too much.
Shouldn't all women be paid equal to the quality of the work they're doing?
It's a better read on paper.
I see.
When you're reading the script, it seems so easy.
Yeah.
But you have to just get very zen, very still. I mean, just to do the head.
And all of a sudden this window opened up where I was safe, I had money.
This is kind of how I generally look at things, which is what somebody else does or doesn't do is irrelevant. How you hold it is everything. And while I may have taken it as he intended.
And I feel like Ghost was very similar. It's like, okay, we're gonna do a comedy, a thriller, and a romance.
King, how come you never made a pass at me?
Wow, I can't trust myself because I actually thought I saw something that was good.
And I love the...
The director liked doing a lot of takes. We definitely did 6, 7, easily.
Okay, all right. This is...
The reviews were disastrous.
Yeah.
For Ghost.
And then...
It's at least 15 takes each time. And so it's somewhat surreal.
Yeah, I can't.
Oh no.
Willis?
Yes.
Yes, I knew he would be. I mean, even though I went over him.
It's not now.
It's the new season on Sunday morning.
Responsible for so much of my life.
Also to remember not to make it mean too little so I can just be in the joy.
That's good.
And it really, it's just been lovely, wonderful.
Have you always been that way? Is that always been your way?
I think I am kind of.
Doing this a long time, like over 45 years, and this is the first time I've ever won anything as an actor.
Okay, what's next?
What's next?
I get why you kind of fell in love with this guy.
And now it's just me and my silly pack of dogs.
My favorite is when actually we were shooting in the movie and I was out for a walk on a day off and somebody said, "Oh my God, are you that girl from Friends?"
It wasn't a masterpiece.
How come you never made a pass at me? Kevin, I'm curious. You know all those nights we stayed up talking?
Thank you so much and welcome back to the show. Thanks for coming on our show. Look at you here on the cover of Variety.
I think she was like 5 or 6 months old.
Popcorn actress.
I do remember saying that.
And that's, the first thing that I thought was, like, why would somebody even say something like that to someone?
They're being nice to me.
Arena or platform that I couldn't win awards, that I could have these other things, but you don't get to have that. But he didn't do that. He just said the words.
I see.
So that's the difference.
Do you think that he was...
Meet his brother, Charlie Sheen. You got...
Well, you can't buy people.
10 years older.
Gosh, I don't know. It's so silly.
It's what I made it mean about me. It's that I made it mean that somehow I wasn't ever going to be somebody that could be acknowledged in that kind of...
By a woman who is 15.
Of yourself.
People say, "Are you Emma Roberts?"
Of a better
To see Martin Sheen as a father.
ever dreamt.
Everything yesterday I knew he'd forget.
Unsettled.
Hey guys, Demi Moore just exposed some seriously dark truths about Hollywood, and what she's revealing about being called a popcorn actress changes everything. Not only is she finally speaking out about the industry's toxic treatment, but her comeback story is absolutely incredible. Plus, wait until you hear why she still doesn't have a star on the Walk of Fame. Today we're breaking down the shocking way producers tried to limit her career, why being called a popcorn actress actually destroyed her confidence. The real reason she doesn't have a Hollywood star, her incredible comeback with The Substance, never before heard details about her career struggles, and proof that Hollywood's prejudice against certain actresses goes deeper than anyone realized. Plus, we have exclusive information about what really happened behind the scenes that nobody's talking about. But guys, what Demi reveals next will make your jaw drop. Let's dive into this popcorn actress's situation because what Demi's revealing about that moment is absolutely heartbreaking. During her Golden Globe speech, she exposed how one producer's words completely shattered her confidence for decades. 30 years ago, this producer basically told her she'd never be taken seriously in Hollywood. They said she could make successful movies that earned millions, but she'd never get recognition for her actual talent. But here's what's really devastating. Demi internalized this comment so deeply that she started believing she didn't deserve awards or critical acclaim. Wait until you hear how this affected her career choices. This is a bewildy. The impact of being labeled a popcorn actress went way deeper than anyone realized. Demi started turning down complex roles because she didn't think she deserved them. Sources close to her reveal she passed on several Oscar-worthy parts in the 90s because that producer's words were constantly echoing in her head. But here's what's really interesting. We now know who this producer was. Multiple industry insiders have confirmed his identity. And guess what? He's still actively working in Hollywood, still making these same kinds of comments about other actresses. One source revealed he actually brags about putting Demi in her place. And trust me, what happened when they recently crossed paths will shock you. The most revealing part? Demi kept detailed journals during this period, documenting how this label affected her mental health. She writes about feeling like an imposter even during her biggest successes. Ghosts. Striptease? A Few Good Men? She felt she didn't deserve praise for any of them because she'd been convinced she was just a popcorn actress. Now let's talk about this Walk of Fame situation because it's absolutely mind-blowing that Demi Moore doesn't have a star. The reasons behind this exclusion expose some serious industry prejudices. First off, let's look at the numbers because they're shocking. Demi's films have grossed over $3 billion worldwide. She's been nominated for multiple Golden Globes, and she's literally changed pop culture. I mean, who hasn't recreated that ghost pottery scene? But somehow, she's been consistently overlooked for this honor, while less accomplished actors get their stars. But guys, what these Hollywood Chamber of Commerce documents reveal will make your blood boil. Sources inside the Hollywood Chamber of Commerce revealed something really disturbing. Demi's name has been proposed multiple times, but there's this unwritten bias against actresses who started in commercial blockbusters. One insider actually said, "We prefer actors who took a more traditional path." Like, what does that even mean? The most infuriating part? Judge Judy has a star? Dr. Phil has a star. No shade to them, but we're talking about the actress who gave us G.I. Jane, Indecent Proposal, and now The Substance. The double standard is absolutely ridiculous. And what these industry insiders just revealed will make you furious. But here's where it gets really interesting. We've uncovered evidence that certain producers actually blocked her nominations over the years. They used their influence to maintain this narrative that she wasn't a serious actress. One former chamber member admitted there was an active campaign to keep her off the Walk of Fame because they saw her as a commercial product rather than an artist. Let's talk about Demi's incredible comeback with The Substance, because this role is literally proving everyone wrong. The same industry that tried to box her in as a popcorn actress is now being forced to acknowledge her incredible talent. The way she approached this role is fascinating. Instead of letting that old popcorn actress label hold her back, she completely transformed herself for this character. Sources from the set say she spent months preparing, diving deep into research about addiction and recovery. One crew member revealed she would stay in character even when cameras weren't rolling. But wait until you hear what the director originally thought about casting her. This is crazy. The casting process was particularly interesting because the director initially had doubts. He admitted he was influenced by those old prejudices about her being just a commercial actress. But here's what changed everything. Demi showed up to the audition with this incredibly detailed character study she'd created. She literally proved every stereotype about her wrong in one meeting. The physical transformation she underwent for this role is mind-blowing too. She completely changed her appearance, her mannerisms, even her voice. But what's really impressive is how she fought against the studio's attempts to glamorize her character. She insisted on keeping things raw and real. And what happened during that intense scene But here's the most powerful part. Demi actually used all those years of being underestimated to fuel this performance. She channeled 3 decades of industry prejudice into her character struggle. One scene in particular, where her character finally stands up to her critics, had the entire crew in tears. The director later revealed the way Hollywood is responding to Demi's comeback is absolutely fascinating. Let's break down how the same industry that once dismissed her is now being forced to eat their words. Critics who used to write her off as just a pretty face are suddenly discovering what real fans have known for years. Demi Moore is a powerhouse actress. But here's what's really interesting. Some of these critics are actually apologizing for their past reviews. One prominent journalist wrote this lengthy piece admitting he was part of the problem, actively contributing to that popcorn actress's narrative. But guys, what these old critics are saying now will make your jaw drop. The awards circuit reaction is particularly satisfying. The same organizations that snubbed her for years are now falling over themselves to honor her. But Demi's handling it with incredible grace. At recent events, she's been using her platform to expose how Hollywood systematically undermines certain actresses' credibility. Even that producer who originally called her a popcorn actress tried to reach out. Sources say he sent this long email trying to clarify his old comments. But Demi's response? She simply forwarded it to her team with one line. Save this for the memoir? Talk about power moves? And trust me, what she's planning next will shock everyone. The most fascinating response is coming from younger actresses in Hollywood. They're actually using Demi's story as a rallying cry against industry typecasting. Multiple actresses have come forward sharing similar experiences of being boxed in or labeled. One A-list star even revealed she keeps Demi's Golden Globes speech pinned to her vision board. Let's break down that incredible Golden Globes speech, because what Demi said on that stage wasn't just about winning an award. It was about reclaiming her narrative after 30 years of being underestimated. The moment she stepped on that stage, you could feel something powerful was about to happen. But nobody expected her to expose Hollywood's toxic labeling system so directly when she said, "I've been doing this for over 45 years, and this is the first time I've ever won anything as an actor." The entire room went silent. You could literally see some producers squirming in their seats. But wait until you hear what she said backstage. This changes everything. The way she addressed that popcorn actress comment was absolutely masterful. Instead of being bitter, she turned it into this powerful message about self-worth. When she said, "You will never be enough, but you can know the value of your worth if you just put down the measuring stick." Several actresses in the audience were literally in tears. But here's what most people missed. There were subtle call-outs in her speech to specific industry figures. Sources say at least 3 major producers knew she was referencing them when she talked about people who try to define others' worth. One of them actually left the ceremony early. And what happened at the after party will make your jaw drop. The most powerful moment came when she talked about the universe sending her the substance script when she thought she was done. But here's what's really interesting. We now know she actually turned down the role 3 times. She was so conditioned to doubt herself that it took the director personally convincing her she was worthy of this complex character. Backstage, things got even more intense. When reporters tried to get her to name the producer who called her a popcorn actress, she just smiled and said, "He knows who he is." And so does everyone else in this room. The power of that moment was incredible. She managed to put the entire industry on notice without naming names. Now let's talk about how Demi's comeback is literally changing the game for other actresses in Hollywood. The impact of her speaking out is creating this massive shift in how the industry treats talented women. Multiple actresses who've been labeled as commercial or just pretty faces are suddenly getting serious consideration for dramatic roles. Casting directors reveal they're actually reconsidering their biases. One major studio executive admitted they're reviewing their entire casting process after Demi's speech exposed their prejudices. But guys, what these casting documents reveal will blow your mind. The change in how Hollywood values different types of success is fascinating. Remember when Demi said commercial success and critical acclaim shouldn't be mutually exclusive? Well, that's becoming the new industry standard. Studios are actually creating new guidelines that prevent actors from being pigeonholed based on their previous successes. But here's what's really powerful. Younger actresses are now refusing to accept limiting labels. Sources say several A-list stars have added clauses to their contracts preventing studios from typecasting them. They're literally calling it the Demi Moore clause. And trust me, these new industry changes will make you gasp. The impact on award shows is particularly interesting. The Golden Globes, Oscars, and SAG Awards are all reviewing their voting processes. They're looking at historical biases against actors who started in commercial films. One awards show insider revealed they found a pattern of discrimination that goes back decades. The most significant change, Hollywood's biggest agencies are now actively fighting against these labels. They're creating special departments focused on helping commercially successful actors transition into more dramatic roles. Multiple agents have admitted they used to reinforce these stereotypes, but Demi's speech made them realize how damaging that was. This whole situation isn't just about Demi Moore anymore. It's completely changing how Hollywood values talenting, and the implications for future generations of actresses are huge. Major studios are literally rewriting their casting policies. They're creating new guidelines that prevent anyone from being labeled or limited based on their previous successes. One executive actually said, "The term popcorn actress is now banned in our meetings." That's the kind of real change Demi's courage is creating. But wait until you hear what's coming. Now, drop a comment below with your thoughts. Do you think Demi will finally get her Walk of Fame star? Should she name the producer who tried to limit her career? What's your favorite Demi Moore role? Commercial or dramatic? How do you think this will change things for younger actresses? Hey guys, hit that subscribe button because this story is developing fast. My sources say there's more coming.